Hello there. It's been a while. Welcome back to another video on Silica. So, today's video we have got ourselves another update. Finally, we have got ourselves a cheeky little update with some lovely changes. So guys, if you enjoy the video, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button. I go live every Sunday for Silica Sundays at 7 PM UK time. Come and join in, try out the new stuff, play some games, have some fun, have a laugh. And occasionally you get Dram with me as well, the dev for Silica, the main man. And he can answer quite a few questions that you can put forward to him. So yeah, make sure you join in. It's not every Sunday that he joins me, but he joins me most of the Sundays that he can. So yeah, don't forget, jump on in. It'll be in the little bar at the top left of the screen. Around about now you should see it say Silica Sundays. Just join in on that one. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the update. We have got ourselves version 0.8.143 collision avoidance. So just before we get into the update notes, Sol and Centauri split is happening relatively soon. The reason why I know this is because of additional buildings added to the spawn list, and there's a lot of them, including Centauri Units. So the whole big old split is going to be coming, and it's going to be coming sooner rather than later. Anyway, let's get into it. So we've got ourselves some gameplay changes. So placeable unit generator spawner sandbox for continuously spawning units. I've used that on the Silica Sundays last Sunday. Pretty good. It allows units and like vehicles to be spawned to allow players to take control of those units. It just saves the game master time when it comes to like getting things going. Just able to keep a nice constant stream of units. You can also get it to spawn like AI units for combat purposes, so you can like pit two AIs against each other, or you can pit, say, players against the AI that constantly spawns units that put into a wave, that sort of stuff, which is pretty cool. Added heavy tank and strike tank to the arena. They are also added in the spawn menu, so you can use them in strategy if you use cheats, but they are not currently buildable at this time. Fixed select main building keybind. Another fix is start sandbox player state instead of a staging state to avoid confusion. That's a hell of a lot better. To be honest with you, I felt like staging may have been just unnecessary. Basically, if you can create a scenario on the fly whilst having your players like in a ready state but actively been playing to avoid the confusion, then I feel like that is better. That's a lot better. Fixed building icons incorrectly rotated in a small minimap. That one wasn't really prevalent as much, but basically what it is, if you looked in the minimap at the left side of the screen, some of the buildings were off rotation to the actual building's true rotation. Unclickable save scenario UI in sandbox. I didn't personally see that myself, but then again, I don't really play Silica to build a scenario at the moment. I will in the future, but at the moment. Improved. Better gamepad support for in-game map and respawn menus. That's more for controller stuff, which is great. We always like to see controller being added to a game primarily for the FPS, and also hopefully with Commander as well. If Commander gets it controller support, that would be like insane. Literally insane. Improved. Rift base and human spawn point are moved up from the southwest corner. Okay, yeah, southwest corner was a pain in the butt. You would not want to spawn there. It's called the weak side, so I'm glad that's been rectified. New access routes down from the center, the city map of Naraka. So if you know the city of Naraka is all cliffs and the city's in the center. Basically there's ramps now added in the center of those cliffs to allow for better access in and out of the map. AI added collision avoidance to all land vehicles. Now this is a godly change. It is not perfect, but it is very, very good, and Drum's done an amazing job putting this in, and I know he's constantly on it. He's constantly improving it as time is going on. So basically all all vehicles will now actively avoid each other when it's moving. So that includes harvesters, that includes tanks, it's all the land vehicles basically. It's everything that's got wheels or hover. amazing change. You see everything move in lines now, and they're not crashing into each other. They're actively avoiding like buildings and cliffs. They're trying to make the cleanest route possible on their way to their destination. I know there's been a lot of feedback in regards to this, where they want like units formations and stuff, which I do want as well. I definitely want unit formations, because the last thing you want is a line of tanks when you can have, say, a formation of tanks instead, where they create more of a what's the word for it, like more of a force rather than just a line where you could pick off a tank one at a time, basically like a traditional ambush scenario. You send a line of tanks through Naraka's main valley. You got guys with rocket launchers on the cliffs. You know, you could pick off a tank one by one, for example. Having them in a formation would make him more of a harder job to take him out, because they'd all be in a lump, and not only that, it makes for better gameplay overall. So I'm glad. I'm glad we have got ourselves some good old collision avoidance now. Dram has been racking his brain against the wall for the last few, I feel like few months, trying to get that done. So yeah, good job to him indeed. Let's just turn off Discord. Yeah, well played to him. Okay, added UI elements, gamepad support for the main menu, faction status added to in-game map, player list for Game Master in Sandbox, object settings screen in Sandbox, toolkit info and dialogues and prospector and intro missions, improved overhaul main menu UI, overhauled respawn menu, overhauled map M key with zoom and pan support, Centauri RTS UI, Sandbox Game Master and build menu UI, ignore white space in build menu search box. So we'll look at most of this after we've gone through the patch notes, so I can show you some of the changes firsthand. The game is literally looking insanely different just straight away. The main menu adds to it, the UI elements adds to it. Just there's a lot of change, and it's all good change. Technical, dynamic placement of sandbox, which allow placement of any unit anywhere and attaching to another object. Improved, rework the controls for action map system. Fixed, added construction sites to saving. Fixed, missing directory when opening load screen for the first time. Fixed, update position and respawn options in sandbox when spawn point is moving objects, which is good. We do enjoy this. Basically, we may be able to get spawn point on a harvester, which will make a battle harvester scenario very feasible. We'll see. Infantry could friendly fire each other as a fix as well. I'm not quite sure what this means, other than AI maybe shooting each other, like if they're in a group, perhaps. We'll have to see. That I can explore on a Sunday, but I do assume that's what that means. Multiplayer fixes. Several issues in Sandbox objective syncing. Players in Sandbox are sent back to the respawn menu when the Game Master deletes a unit. Right, okay, instead of kicking them into free cam. That makes sense. Ejecting player units in Sandbox when deleting a vehicle. Right, okay, that's fair. Balancing. Starting locations in City of Naraka has been changed, and Boltier and Baldex balance in City of Naraka. It was overdue. It's good to have more of each on Naraka. Naraka is a very heavy map, both performative and also just a big heavy map in general. It takes a while to get it done, so having more resource means more combat faster on the map, and also you've got those lovely open direct paths now from the center of the cliffs going down into the City of Naraka. So Naraka is coming out to be probably one of the best maps in the game yet again. I know it's a fan favorite for most of the guys who play Silica, but yeah, well played, Tom, well played. Visual improved, completely new main menu scene. We'll look at that shortly. Fixed documented holes in Rift Basin, Monument Valley, and volumetric fog quality has all been fixed as well. Yeah, so there are a few like little texture holes. I know there are some as well on Polaris, which I need to forward over to the guys over working on Silica for them to be fixed also. But I'm glad these are getting patched out. Audio improved, UI button, highlight and click sound. Death music no longer plays with direct controlled units when it is destroyed, which is good. Basically, if you're the commander, if you lose a unit, you're probably planning to lose it, or you just want to get out of that as quickly as possible, which is good. Units and structures, right. So this is the big cheese. This is the big old boy. This is before the Sol Centauri split, but we have got ourselves those buildings in the game for you to look at, for you to play around with, for you to use. Some of them actually do work, and they work very well. So it's always good to see. But yeah, added Soul Hover Harvester. Only These are all cheat only spawns, so I'm just going to say it once. Soul Heavy Vehicle Factory, Soul Light Vehicle Factory, Soul Barracks. Soul Refinery does not work at the moment. And also it spawns in with a Centauri Harvester. So when it releases, it will be a Soul Harvester and it'll work as normal. Soul Radar Station, Soul Silo, Centauri Strike Tank, and Centauri Heavy Tank. So we're going to be jumping in. I'm going to be showing you some of the stuff already. We are not going to cutscene. We are just going straight in because you guys get to see the main menu firsthand. We will do that now. Hello, Windows. Thank you. That's a good start. There we go. Right, so this is the new and improved main menu. When it loads. There we go. And you can see the UI elements has also changed in game. Now we can actually load up the old main menu, so you can actually see what the old main menu was. But I'm not going to do that because I'm pretty sure you guys who watch this video have already played Silica or seen the old main menu. But this is a massive improvement. I am a big fan of this main menu. If you tune in on my live streams, I've actually got something similar to my starting stream soon. And this is before I even knew the concept of the new main menu, so it was actually quite funny. Great minds think alike, as I'd say. But you can see the refinery in the background. You can see there's two gunships passing overhead as well. Centauri Harvester there, digging away at the Bolterium, and a few of the lads just looking at the harvester there. So looks very nice and very clean indeed. And little crab there, if you haven't seen little crabby boy, he's currently watching the harvester as well. But yes, as you can see, we've got nice UI elements as well. We can go into graphics settings there. You've got it all here as well. Audio, controls for everything. And then you got the credits. There they are. Very much like Star Wars style credits. We won't go through it because it's take ages. But we're going to go into play. We've got scenario, siege, strategy, sandbox, arena. You know, the normal. We're not going to go... To be honest, we could go into sandbox. We're going to go into sandbox. So we are going to go on to Naraka because Naraka's been changed. Where are you two? There you are. City of Naraka. I'm going to password protect it. And yeah, we'll just go like that. Okay, so it's kind of like a little repeat of my Silica Sundays because I did actually go through and commentate on all of the buildings and all the units and yada yada yada. But I will do it again for you guys for this video. So yeah, enjoy. First of all, we're going to take a look at Naraka City in all of its glory now, as it will be changed. And you will see all the lovely changes to it. Now, me being the Game Master, I'm able to spawn in literally everything straight away. So that's going to be great. So we are Game Master. Now, you can see there's quite a lot. So this is the old points of travel. Another point here being added. This is an older point. So this is a new point. This is also a new point over here at the southern side. And another point here at the middle on the left side. And yeah, they are the additionals. I feel like this is an additional. I'm not... Yeah, I think it is an additional. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, this has always been here. This has always been here. Ignore me. But yeah, only a few little changes, for example here and like over here, but they do make the difference. They honestly do. Give it a try, guys. You'll be very pleasantly surprised. But this is City of Naraka. First of all, we're going to shut off the AI if they're on. They are not on. So let's go into build menu. This is all the UI changes for the Game Master inside of Silica. So you get everything here. Player teams, you can set to whatever they need to be. You could game state example, staging info, winning info, losing information. Basically, you can create like your own little custom scenarios for the players. You can change the time of day to whatever you want. We're going to keep it as daytime for now. We can add fog of war as well. We can add it just for players, or we can add it for none. Objectives, we can add objectives as well as save the scenario and have the list of players on the right side as well. So that being said, let's go into the spawn menu now. So unit spawner. Gonna plant it there. It's a little orb on the floor. Basically, this is the continuous spawner. You open the settings, you go into repeat generator, and you can add an additional generator and an additional generator. Basically, this allows you to spawn up to 3. You can go even more if you want to. Basically, you have a current timer. So you can go, I don't know, current timer of 1. We're going to enable it as well. We're going to have an interval of 10. We're going to go for a spawn radius of 30, so don't spawn directly on top. And then we'll select what we want to select to spawn in. We will go with the... We'll search it. We'll go for the heavy tank. And there we go. There it is. And what that'll do now is that'll continuously spawn a heavy tank over and over again. On its interval. There we go. Another interval of a tank spawning in. And then we'll wait again. There'll be another tank spawning in very, very shortly. There's another one. And what it'll do is do a maximum of 10 units. Now, if one of these units are destroyed, a new unit will take fold on top. Oh. Okay, we ignore that tank. But you can see there's a max unit of 10. Basically, once it hits 10 population, it will stop spawning units in, which is great. Anyway, we'll leave that go ahead for now before we look at the heavy tank. We will now start spawning in the strike tank, so you guys can see the strike tank. We'll spawn in a few of those. So there's the strike tank, there's the heavy tank. We will look at those in a second. I'm going to spawn in the rest of the buildings. You guys to see. I didn't really pick the best place to be spawning stuff in, but it is what it is. I know for a fact the barracks spawner is just a little bit broken. That's the Centauri. That's the Centauri. This is going to be the Sol one. So you can see the sprite for it is a bit broken at the moment, but it is indeed in the game. There we go. And also you can see some of the LOD is a bit broken, but I've already notified Dram about it. This will be fixed for the release, but it is currently in the game. What am I missing? Radar. Radar. What else am I missing? Headquarters. Headquarters. Refinery. That is the old refinery. Well, that's the Centauri refinery. Refinery. Here we go. As you can see, there's a Centauri harvester. We will spawn in the Sol one for purposes. Air factory. Air factory. Big old building. Says, "Look at me, I'm beautiful." I feel like I'm missing a building. So we've got the radar, the silo. Oh, put it there. Just double checking. Ultra heavy, heavy. Again, the heavy factory's got an issue as well with its loading LOD. I will actually, because that's quite prevalent. Let me just grab that as a screenshot. Okay. The research facility isn't in the game just yet. The light vehicle factory is definitely in. I know that for sure. Okay, I think that is it for now, for Sol. But that is over half of the buildings currently in game. If you discount the turrets, because the turrets kind of do count as a separated buildings, but still we won't divulge on that. We got the vehicles in as well. I'm just going to spawn in a commando to take control. But okay. Ignore the heavy factories issue there with the LOD and also with the barracks, but we're going to have a look at these buildings quickly. I am going to activate cheats. And I'm going to remove all my UI elements so you guys can see firsthand. So this is the light vehicle factory for Seoul. A very, very nice looking building. Well played to the guys that designed this. Did an immaculate and amazing job with the design of these structures for Seoul. They look the part. They definitely look unique as well in their own way. This is the Seoul headquarters, for example. As you can see, they've got defense turrets. Very much like, hello, look at me. You know, I'm here now. What are you going to do about it? Like, Seoul doesn't really care, because the design of their buildings are very much like more of a beautiful thing. Heavy vehicle factory with the symbols of Seoul on the sides of it. By the way, the accent of Seoul is pretty much prevalent on all buildings. Seoul symbol there, the eagle there, we've got flags. I feel like the light factory probably there, I think. Yeah, there's a Seoul accent right there. You can see like the eagle head. But I don't remember seeing much more out of accent to the building itself. Maybe it's something I could push for, having a flag somewhere on it. I will speak to the lads about that, because I feel like it is definitely missing something to say, look, I'm Seoul. Especially when the rest of the buildings have that like uniqueness to them with the Seoul symboling. Like, for example, this ultra heavy vehicle factory. I mean, you know it's Seoul by the look of it, right? But at the same time, you could have a flag here, maybe, on each side. I don't know. It's up to, in the end, it's down to the devs' design choices and what they want to go for. I'm just, you know, I'm just the Silica ambassador boy that has a few ideas every now and then. But I will not pry if it's not needed. But I will try and, like, you know, say maybe you know, even add like something like this to the building, maybe. I know these are packaged and like ready to be released at some point soon, so it could be more of an issue than it needs to be. Again, it's only cosmetic and it doesn't need to change if it's going to create a problem, right? So that's the main thing. The air factory as well. I know this is missing its elevator at the moment, so hopefully the elevator will be added relatively soon, and we can see the air factory as well. I am yapping, so let's continue looking at the buildings. So ultra heavy vehicle factory. This one can actually build vehicles. I will actually tell it to do that. And quickly we will look at this building animation. So we're building a hover harvester. This will only work with Seoul units. So for example, if I go over to the light vehicle factory and try and do a quad, it's going to build it Centauri style and not Seoul style. This is Seoul style. Wrong building here. So this is how Seoul kind of manufactures their unit. So instead of building and printing it on the fly like Centauri does, they teleport it from Earth, from the Seoul system. And as you can see, like inside of the black hole, let's turn off my UI, we have like almost, it looks like a factory. You can actually go inside of it. I won't be able to do it in this mode because the building's accents get in the way, but you can actually go in and it's a bit weird. But yeah, it's kind of like a factory on the other side, like a teleporting factory. It won't take long for this harvester to build, so we get to see it build in real time. And obviously you can't hear the manufacturing sounds, and I think that's because I'm Game Master, but there are going to be like sound cues to this. And I do believe Dram said he's going to correct some of this red. That it shouldn't be affecting the building directly. It should just be affecting the harvester itself. So that will be added also. But as you can see, that is how the Seoul harvester is manufactured. It's a very tight squeeze, but it is built in the ultra heavy vehicle factory, and it does a lovely job of leaving the factory as well. Very clean. Very clean indeed. Okay, back to the buildings. So Seoul refinery, I mean, this is very much like, look at me, I'm a direct influence from Command and Conquer Tiberian Wars, or Tiberian Sun, sorry, not Tiberian Wars, Tiberian Sun. Very much like, I've said this from the start when we first seen these buildings, but it's also confirmed by Dram that the refinery itself is a direct like influence coming from Tiberian Sun, because it's one of Dram's favorite games for strategy, and you kind of see it. You can see it in the refinery just instantly. Very nice looking building. I'm a big fan of the refinery. We're gonna look at the silo next because it's a tiny building. Yeah, it does the job. It's a silo. You know, there's not much more to say about it. Very pretty building again. Got the stairs. You got the little silo tubes, the big one in the middle as well. And then we're gonna go over to look at me. I'm the air factory. This thing is massive, by the way. It doesn't actually like give you any inkling to how big this actually is until you spawn on the floor and look at it. It is absolutely just ginormous. Probably one of the biggest buildings for Sol. Again, the elevator does not work at present, and I kind of spawned it in a bit of a funny situation. It would actually be a bit more buried into the desert. But look at it. It's got like defense positions as well, like little bunkers you can get inside of and shoot out of. But as you can see as well, like this whole building, this is where the elevator should be. But as you can see, it's not actually in the game just yet. You've got the Sol flags on the interior. I did see a staircase here. Maybe I can get up to the top with the staircase. Let's have a look. Okay, I think we can. Oh no, hold on. Oh yeah, we are. So we're up here. So this is on top of the Sol Air Factory. This is where the aircraft will be manufactured. On this plate. Very similar to the Centauri one. You've got these little things on the side, like blast shields, which you can stand on to look out into the wider vast of Boltrus. Next building. Have I got any more to show you? Yes, I have. Right. So let's get a lad in. So this is the radar station. Again, a big building. You don't actually realize how big these buildings are until you're actually on the ground. But a very big building indeed. Big old radar station, big old radar dish. You can't get into it, unfortunately. But apart from that, it's a very, very big, beautiful building. Again, looks like defense bunkering positions. But again, you can access to these. I don't know if you'll be able to. I doubt it because of just game balance in general. Centauri doesn't have this, so Sol, in theory, should not have this either. Things for like the barracks, though, a bit more understandable. This is the reason why. I'll show you just a second. Let's get another commando in. So this is the barracks. Again, look at me. I'm Sol. I've got Sol here. I've got Sol there. I've got Sol there. I've got Sol everywhere. I'm a big, beautiful building. Look at the like little eagles on the side of the building here as well. A very, very nice looking building. We're going into the barracks. It's a bit empty. I've already said like on stream. I know it's a defense position because you got all this on the outside, but maybe like a few like boxes or whatnot to add addition to the inside. But there we got upstairs. We got the main barracks. You see, we got the carpets. We got the flag. We got the beds. I mean, I'd hate to sleep here, but yeah. You do what you have to do. Just gonna tone down the music just a slight bit. There we go. Again, it's the same on the other side. Again, go upstairs. You can see we've got the barracks there. We've got the beds there as well. We go into the main entrance. This is going to be like the spawn location, I believe, for Sol's units. We have the role selection point. It says access denied because I'm technically not on Sol's team, so I will not be able to access it. On the other side will be the teleporter. So we've got the teleporter as well, which again I won't have access to because I'm not part of the team. So that is the barracks. Oh. This could even be the spot where you spawn in the hover bike. Actually, just saying that. I'm not entirely sure where you spawn the hover bike, actually. It's probably there, though, I would assume. But we won't kind of know until on its release, anyway. Where its final destination will be. So that is the barracks. We looked at the radar. We're going to go look at the HQ before we look at the units. And the hover harvester as well. So this is the Sol headquarters. Which, by the way, can build buildings. So, unfortunately, I don't have the tech level to show you the building for the Soul buildings, which will have its own unique build style. Basically, it's the, without me going into it, it's the same as the building for the Hover Harvester, but on a bigger, grander scale. Which you'll see on Silica Sunday if I decide to do the old spawning in the buildings again for you guys to try out. But if not, we'll just wait until it's actually in the game. But yes, the Soul headquarters. Now, it's kind of a bit buried in the sand, but it is a grand old building. Defense turrets, yet again, light and heavy. Look at me, I'm Soul. Accents everywhere. Defense bunkers as well, as you can see. Teleporter. Defense emplacements. This other side, I believe, will have just a defensible emplacement. It is indeed 2 rooms. But we are here to see the main beast, the center of the headquarters, which is where all of the stuff resides. I'm going to quickly change the time of day. Give me a second. Okay, that's better. Right, so we're inside the HQ. Now, before we look at the mural there, we're going to go up to the defensible positions. Again, more defense bunkers. Look at me. I'm a defense bunker. Yes, look at me. My other monitor just turned on my capture card, so now I've got 2 of these feeds going through, which is great. We love to see it. Again, more defense points. And that is going to be the same for the other side. Right, let's look at the main meat of the HQ. Again, very much Soul. We've got these nice pillars. We've got the Soul flags. We've got the little Soul symbol there. We've also got the eagles there, up there as well. Oh yeah, another defense point on the lower side of things. Anyway, mural. And like the little table. So we've got the table and the mural. So, I don't know everything about this mural, but I do know some of it. Basically, it tells the story of Silica. So it tells the story of how Soul and Centauri became who they are today. So this is Soul. This is you know, the solar system as we know today. This is the, you know, the Soul Sun. We've got Earth, which is there, and the other planets around the solar system as well. And you can see these lines spreading off. Now these lines show the travel of humankind as we head over to Proxima Centauri and Alpha Centauri. And as you can see, Centaurus is not Centaurus, sorry. Yeah, it's Centaurus, yeah, sorry. Centaurus has been located and has been colonized. From there, there's a teleporter wormhole made into Dan Star, and we have located Bolterus. And Bolterus is where we are today. And this is where the conflict happens between Centauri, Soul, and the aliens. However, after this, I have no idea what that is. So, you guys tell me what that is. Yeah, you guys let me know. I was on stream looking for a signature from one of the developers here on this mural, but I do not see it. So, if you guys locate it, please let me know down below. But, yeah, that's kind of the story of the mural. That being said, that is all of it for the buildings. Right, let's have a look at these vehicles now, shall we? So, heavy tank. We'll take this one. So, Centauri's equivalent to the rail tank, not full equivalent, but pretty much on par with it. Very slow-moving, tracked-wheeled vehicle. Has a coaxial machine gun. So instead of missiles like the rail tank has, it has a coaxial machine gun. It has a big cannon, a big explosive cannon. Just to show you how explosive it is, we'll take one aim at this tank. Wait. Hold on. Wait, what? Hold on. Okay, so I don't know what's wrong with my aim reticule, but it's not true to what it should be saying. I think that might be an issue with Game Master. But basically, there should be like a true aim reticule and stuff. But it's a bit whiffed out because I'm the Game Master. So there we go. So a big explosion, big booms. And you can see it's done quite a sizable amount of damage to that strike tank. Obviously, I can't true aim because I don't know where my aim is. But there you go. Direct hit on this tank, it annihilates it within an instant. That is pretty much the heavy tank. It's going to need balancing. It's in the game as like a test scenario. You could use it in the arena. You can do what you want with it. A very nice looking tank, very big heavy boy. Just reminds me of a Tiger tank, really. But there we go. Strike tank. This thing is a bucket of fun. We do enjoy the strike tank. It is a 3-burst tank, very fast as well, good at climbing rocks. It is the equivalent to the light armored car for Soul, and it fires shells in a 3-round burst. Apparently I'm alien, that's probably the reason why, but I'm not alien. Yeah, so 3-round burst, as you can see. It doesn't have a secondary, so you've got to rely on those main guns. It can do quite a bit of sizable damage to other vehicles. And also, you don't have to 3-round burst it. You can just single round it. But it always reloads on the 3rd shot. So bear that in mind. So yeah, that is the strike tank. And then the final vehicle, what we're going to showcase today, lovely Bolterium right next to the harvester, is the hover harvester. So we're going to start it in a shutdown position. So it's now on the floor shut down. What I will do though is spawn in another lad over next to this Bolterium patch, because I'm going to get in the harvester afterwards. So it's a hover harvester, so different to Centauri. It's got defense drones on top instead of turrets. The way you get into this harvester is the same as Centauri. You board it. However, instead of going on top, you go to the cockpit on the left side of the harvester to get into it. So now we're heading towards a Bolterium patch. We're going to activate the extractors, the lasers. And this is going to actively be mining that Bolterium up. Obviously, I won't be able to see how much the harvester holds because I am technically an alien. Because I have no faction. Being the game master. But yes, it can literally turn on the spot as well, which is huge. And then basically, you then send it back to its refinery once it's done. However, like I said, the Soul refinery does not currently work as intended. But that is the Soul harvester. It is a fully functional harvester and it will do the job. So we're going to leave that go for now. Let's bring him back so we can get the commando. So, let's take it off the crystals actually. I tell you what, let's just build a new one in a nice little location where you guys can just see it firsthand without everything getting in the way. So, right. Harvester. And then we want a commando. Right. Big old hulking beast, just like the Centauri harvester. Here is the main elevator. We call it in. The harvester will land and shut itself off. And then the elevator will come down. We board the elevator. Now, Dram's already said he's planning on fixing the elevator controls because they are still a bit jank. As you can see, we're kind of like clipping through the floor. That will be fixed. And then we're inside of the Soul Harvester, which is pretty much the same as Centauri. When you go inside, open up the left-hand door. The cockpit is down here. We won't be able to take control because we're not the same faction, but that's how you'd use the Harvester. You'd go on top and you've got these little defense drones. These little drones will open fire against enemies. Just to show you what I mean, let's quickly do this. We're going to spawn it in for Soul. We're going to go Harvester, like that. And then we're going to go Alien. And then we're going to go Wasp. And just to show you, the drones will try and defend the Harvester, but again, it's only for like on top attacks. And you can see like it's trying to get an angle on this bug. Let's try and order this this alien to move. There you go. So very, very good at killing anything that goes on top. So any alien that decides to want to attack the top of the harvester will get shredded. So aliens kind of got to go for the, you know, interior undercarriage, that sort of stuff, which puts them prone to incoming infantry fire from other sources. Just to show you what I mean. The drone will also open fire on infantry as well. Again, it's not going to be as good as, say, other defense means, but it's still a deterrent regardless. And I kind of feel like it's not as powerful as a Centauri Harvester when it comes to its defensive capabilities. I do feel like the Centauri Harvester does have more defense than this Harvester does. Just so you see what I mean. If I put down a... Oh, shooting at the other Harvester. Let's delete this one. But as you can see, look. The turrets are definitely more prevalent on the Centauri Harvester. So it's more capable of defending itself, the older Harvester for Centauri over the Sol one. But they are totally different beasts in general. We've got a wheeled vehicle with buckets on the front, which can like spin around on the spot. And then you've got the Sol Harvester, which are more hover based. Easier for terrain travel, can turn on the spot. Bit of a bigger footprint in general, but definitely weaker when it comes to like defensive capabilities. So yeah, I mean that is it, guys. To be honest with you, that is it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed the little look through of the new additions to Silica. I will be covering the updates as they come through. I'm sorry it's been a while since I've created a video. I've been doing videos on other games where I can, but real life does kind of get in the way quite often at the moment. You know, I'm trying to be as live as much as I can when I've got time, and I'm trying to get some videos out for you when I can as well, when I have the time. But I do apologize. But I do hope you guys enjoyed the video, and definitely stay tuned for some more on Silica. We are approaching the point where Silica becomes its uniqueness once again, where it just brings in, you know, the Sol faction splits off with the Centauri. Centauri get their own units as well, and they'll be totally separated from each other. And then we'll be seeing the push on to 1.0 not too long after that. So it is very exciting times indeed. Silica is literally becoming the ideal game for RTS and FPS enjoyers alike. And I'm glad I'm around for the journey. Right. That being said, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button. And if you're joining in on the games with all you lovely guys there in chat, join over on Sunday on my YouTube channel, or on Silica's Twitch page, or even their Steam page as well. Without further ado, guys, I will see you next time. Peace out. Goodbye.